JBNN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones. Hi guys, welcome back. As we take a look at the major stories of the week, October 30 to November 5. And in our first story, child thugs are worrying trend, says Commish. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson Tuesday described as a worrying trend the number of children being brought to book for serious crimes. Anderson was speaking during his monthly press briefing, said of the 875 charges laid against children from 2019, as of November 1 this year, 79 were for murder, 66 for shooting, and 175 for rape. There were 256 charges of breaches of the Firearms Act, 175 for break-ins, 89 cases of robbery, and 56 for aggravated assault. Anderson said collective action is needed to determine how to save child perpetrators. Guys, we need to go back to the days when Sunday school was of importance to every single home. Children were sent to Sunday school whether the parents were going to church or not, where they were taught certain things. Do not kill, do not steal, and the list goes on. And the days when the village raised a child, nobody saw somebody else's child doing something and turned a blind eye. But those days are long gone. Moving on, 4 killed, 1 injured in separate shootings in Clarendon. The police in Clarendon are probing separate shooting incidents which left 4 people dead and 1 in hospital. In the first incident, a husband and wife, Evan Francis and Alicia Francis, were murdered at the gate to their home in Tollgate about 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday. The attack came a day after the body of their son, Kendrick Francis, was found along a roadway in Milk River. Unconfirmed reports are that Kendrick was killed because of a disagreement with his father over a plot of land. It is alleged that he was killed by men contracted by his father. His father and his stepmother were killed in a reprisal. In the second incident, a gunman shot 2 men, 1 fatally, at a shop in Content, Yorktown. The incident happened about 10 p.m. The deceased has been identified as Sylvester Eli Richardson. It's reported that Richardson and another man were at the shop watching music videos on a laptop when a man entered the establishment and ordered a soup. Richardson got up to serve him and the man then pulled a gun from a bag he was carrying and opened fire, hitting both men. He then escaped on foot into the area. The injured men were taken to the Mapen Hospital where Richardson succumbed to his injuries, while the other man was admitted in serious condition. And in the third incident, which took place in Top Buckner, Mapen, about 11:19 p.m., 23-year-old Labour O'Shane Salmon, otherwise called Alkaline, was shot fatally. Information is that he was walking along the main road in Top Buckner after purchasing an item at a shop when he was pounced upon by gunmen on foot who opened fire at him. He was shot all over his body. He was pronounced dead at hospital. So guys, once again, Clarendon has reared its head. And I've always heard the saying, Maypen and a playpen, but somehow it's not just Maypen, but Clarendon. Gun amnesty takes effect Saturday, November 5. The House of Representatives on Tuesday approved an order that will give rise to a gun amnesty that will run from this Saturday, November 5, until midnight on Saturday, November 19. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang moved the resolution titled the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Amnesty Order 2022. He noted that he was announcing the amnesty on the same day that the new Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act 2022, with its much stiffer penalties for gun offences, took effect. Chang, who is also the Deputy Prime Minister, had served notice on September 1 when the Firearms Bill was tabled that as soon as the law took effect, an amnesty will be authorized. It will allow persons who may be in possession of an illegal or unregistered gun or ammunition the opportunity to surrender the weapon to the state without the fear of prosecution. To this end, Chang is imploring persons to take advantage of the amnesty. He said persons who may be in possession of a gun without criminal intent should make use of the amnesty. So too those who may have inherited a firearm from a relative and have it locked away in a safe. It also covers individuals who have decided that they no longer have use of a firearm. The object of this amnesty is to have those individuals surrender their firearms, said Chang. According to the order, any person who has acquired a firearm illegally but with no intent of committing an illegal act would benefit from the amnesty. It also covers the individual who voluntarily surrenders or discloses the location of any firearm or ammunition during the amnesty period. Such a person shall not be charged with any offense relating to the illegal possession, custody or control of the firearm or ammunition, said Chang. Once the amnesty expires, those found in possession of an illegal gun can expect the full force of the law to apply, Chang warned. To make use of the amnesty, a person may call the police, go to the nearest police station, or engage the services of an attorney at law. So guys, after reading all of that, do you think this amnesty is going to work? Do you think any hardcore criminal, or any criminal for that matter in this country, is going to willingly give up their firearm? Even with the threat of 15 years if they are caught with one. But then again, some of them would be so much better off because they're going to a place where they're going to be having 24-hour security, 3 meals a day, and they can party as much as they want. Son charged for allegedly beheading of his mother in St. James. The police in St. James have charged the son of the woman who was found with multiple chop wounds and her head severed at their home in Retirement District. 29-year-old Shamoy Brown, otherwise called Shem, was charged with murder on Wednesday afternoon. He gave a caution statement to investigators. The police reported that the attack on 53-year-old Michelle Gail Brown was carried out sometime between Sunday night and Monday morning. Gail Brown, who is employed as a caregiver, did not turn up for work on Monday morning. Her employer reportedly got curious and drove to her home, which was securely locked. Her boss then alerted the police, who climbed through a bedroom window to gain access to the house. Gail Brown's headless body was discovered wrapped in a sheet on the floor of her bedroom. It is alleged that her body had more than 50 chop wounds. Both her arms were partially severed, her fingers were also severed, and some of her teeth were scattered across the room. Her head was found wrapped in a towel inside the kitchen. Nalda Barnaby, the neighbor of Gail Brown, believes her close friend was killed because she refused to give him money to purchase marijuana. Her 29-year-old son, the prime suspect, was taken into police custody. 2 machetes, which may have been the murder weapons, were taken into evidence by the police. The reason we believe him kill him, madam want money, and the lady refrained from giving him money because he go buy weed, and she don't want him to go back to the stage where he come from, shared Barnaby, a 59-year-old housekeeper who admitted to being traumatized over the heinous death. Well, guys, this one is a difficult one, but so many times we have been carrying stories of persons that are mentally ill, creating havoc across this country. Reason being, there is no place that the government has provided where these persons can be taken care of. So families are left looking after them time and time again, not knowing how to do it. They don't have the resources, they don't have the know-how, and so they end up, for want of a better word, being a nuisance to the community and to family members. And in this next story, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force continue to come under attack. Cops shot and injured near Central Police Station. A policeman is now nursing gunshot wounds after he was shot and injured near the Central Police Station in downtown Kingston early Tuesday morning. Reports are that men opened fire on the cop as he was riding his service motorcycle. He was rushed to hospital with a gunshot wound to his shoulder. This incident follows the deaths of 2 other lawmen in the last 2 weeks. On October 15, Constable Brian Martin was shot dead at a wake on Ricketts Avenue, Kingston 13. 4 other people were shot in the incident. A few days later, Corporal Oliver Mullings was gunned down in the line of duty on 3rd Street in the Kingston Western Police Division. So in this particular shooting, the cop came under attack from 2 men on a motorcycle. Time and time again it has been said, and people have been asking the government to do something about a motorcycle with a rider on a pillion. Nothing has been done. But one of these days, when a politician comes face to face with a pillion on a motorcycle with a gun, then something might be done. Bus driver in 8-vehicle crash had 120 outstanding tickets. The driver was operating the coaster bus that triggered an 8-vehicle collision on Constant Spring Road in St. Andrew on Tuesday morning, has 120 outstanding tickets. The police high command made the disclosure during a press conference that was held at the police commissioner's office in St. Andrew on Tuesday afternoon. A 1-minute video circulating on social media showed the coaster bus slam into the back of a van, and the impact from that collision led to other collisions. Reports are that several people were taken to hospital for medical treatment. The police said they'll be stepping up the pressure on those motorists who continue to break the law. And looking back at that video, I wonder if that man ever hear about shadowing the brick. I don't know about you, but time and time again I've come across these coaster bus drivers, taxi drivers on Constant Spring Road, Halfway Tree Road, and they are crazy. Crazy. Just recently another bus was taken off the road, was driving erratically along the road, and the policeman that was driving behind it had to make the calls. It is crazy. These bus drivers, taxi drivers, and they don't care who you are, they're running off the road. They're running over if they have to, but it's all about making that dollar. Care about anybody else's life on these roads. I remember some people were asking if it has started to snow in Jamaica. 8 vehicles because of the carelessness of one person.
It is just about too much now that so much murder, so much madness is going on in this country at this time. We are calling on the leadership of the government of all leaders to begin to exercise a new type of leadership where we can get a handle on this, where we can break the back of this crime, murder situation that is happening in this country. And so we look forward to some new particulars, some new approach that will bring this to a head.
Hunt on for Simeon Sutherland, the man charged for MP Bloomfield's murder. A high-level manhunt is underway by the police of Simeon Sutherland, the man charged in connection with the murder of then People's National Party Member of Parliament for East Portland, Dr. Linvale Bloomfield. Sutherland absconded bail on Wednesday. He was to stand trial in the Home Circuit Court in Kingston for the politician's 2019 stabbing death at his home in Portland, this after several months of delay. However, when his name was called at least 3 times to come inside the courtroom in downtown Kingston on Wednesday, Sutherland was nowhere to be found. The court was informed that before the start of the court, the accused and his parents were at the office of his lawyer, Peter Champagny, KC. Sutherland's mother reportedly claimed that her son was dropped off at the entrance of the Supreme Court building, but said she noticed that he did not go towards the building. Instead, the accused man reportedly walked away and did not stop, even while his parents attempted to drive him down. Sutherland's mother was ordered by High Court Judge Justice Leighton Pusey to be taken into custody to pay her son's bail bond of $800,000. A bench warrant was also issued by the judge for Sutherland's arrest. Champagne has asked the judge to release him from the matter. Bloomfield was found with multiple stab wounds at his home in Passy Gardens, Portland, on the morning of February 2, 2019. Sutherland was arrested by investigators assigned to the Major Investigative Division MID days later, but after denying knowledge of the murder, was initially released by the police. He was rearrested shortly after evidence reportedly linked him to the scene of the crime. I will not say anything about this fishy business. Simeon parents are saying that they let him off at the entrance of the courthouse to park the car. And my question is, why did both parents need to park the car? Why was he not accompanied inside by one parent? Are they somehow in collusion with his disappearance? Hopefully, time will tell. St. James gang war spreads to Florida. Gang warfare originated in Salt Springs, St. James, is believed to have crossed borders and created mayhem in Lauderdale, Florida, with law enforcers there determined to clamp down on the crime syndicates. Jamaican dancehall stakeholders are reportedly enmeshed in the unfolding saga. A double murder on October 19 in the Sunshine State, the latest in a string of multi-killings associated with the gang war, has resulted in the arrest of producer, 26-year-old Jareem J. Man Shelton. The men he's accused of killing have been identified as Dwayne Musselman Francis, a hired killer, according to court records, and Jeff Ford Lord Murray, an upcoming artist, both known figures in the state of Florida. Shelton is reportedly affiliated with the infamous Bosshead gang, which investigators say is sympathetic towards dancehall artist Andre Whitaker, more popularly known as Squash. Gangs originating in St. James are reportedly in a feud with another inter-parish gang, the Waltham Bad Breed, whose reputed leader is also on U.S. soil. U.S. authorities believe the alleged gangsters traveled to America by boat or by crossing its southern border with Mexico. Shelton, as well as alleged members of the Bosshead gang, left Jamaica in the summer and have featured in music videos and Instagram posts of Squash, who has also been in Florida for some time. On May 26, Shelton was one of 2 persons who survived a drive-by shooting in Jamaica at a birthday party along Marl Road in the community. 3 others, including his girlfriend, Tony Ann Reed, otherwise called Two Fly, of Jarrett Terrace, died. The others killed were 27-year-old Shadwell Fraser, otherwise known as Bombrain or Shad, of Felicity Road, Glendevon, and Chamaria Chippy Calvin, 24, of Ballground Rose Heights in St. James. Music producer Linval Thompson Jr., popularly known as Shop Don, and 22-year-old Tajay Clark, otherwise called Fathead, of Salt Spring in St. James, have been charged in relation to the incident. Florida court documents allege that the bloodletting in the U.S. state escalated over a reported shooting on August 3 at a club called the Garden 411 in Lauderdale Lakes. According to the documents, the Bosshead Syndicate and Associates challenged the Waltham Bad Breed gang, which they believe was behind the attack. Court records say the players are wanted for murder in Jamaica. Francis was reportedly blamed for the Lauderdale Lake shooting, which triggered the attack on October 19 in Lauderdale, where Ian Murray were killed. Investigators linked Shelton to the double murder, allegedly matching his blood to 3 samples retrieved from the crime scene. He was held on charge on October 25 after forensic and video evidence, as well as Instagram posts on Ms. J-Man music account, allegedly placed him at the crime scene. There are 2 possible penalties for first-degree murder in Florida, the death penalty and life in prison without the possibility of parole. After the October double killing, a voice note went viral of the threats against the life of Squash. forbidding any promoter from booking him on shows. That prompted the entertainer to post the video, albeit before the Florida investigations became public, dispelling the allegations of his gang involvement and assuring his fans and family that he was well and fully active. Superintendent of Police Aaron Samuels, who heads the operations portfolio in St. James Police Division, said that the police are monitoring the developments in the U.S. "We do believe that there will be implications on local soil. We have increased our policing activities in the area we believe may be impacted," Samuel said. Police say the ongoing triple murder and shooting matter locally involving Thompson Jr. and Clark will proceed, citing nothing has changed in that regard. "We believe the key persons are behind bars," DSP Samuel said. The cop theorized that the dancehall stakeholders in crime is finally catching up with the public. "The public is realizing what we have been dealing with, where criminals hide behind the popularity of the music while committing these serious and violent crimes," Samuel said. And finally, fatal crash on Melrose Hill bypass in Manchester. People arriving on the scene of Friday morning's two-vehicle crash, which claimed 3 lives and left 13 people injured, quickly came to the conclusion that speeding was a central factor. Such was the impact of the crash that the registration plate of one of the vehicles was seen pasted onto the other. The police had confirmed that 2 men and a woman who had been traveling in a taxi succumbed to injuries they sustained in the crash. The woman has been identified as 19-year-old Mona Ann Forbes. Forbes would have celebrated her 20th birthday today, November 6. 10 people admitted at hospital and 3 others treated and released. Police report that about 11 a.m. the taxi, a Toyota Wish motor car, was traveling up Melrose Hill bypass towards Mandeville when a collision occurred with a Hyundai H1 minibus going in the opposite direction. A reliable source said that the minibus was transporting workers of a company contracted to do blasting on the US $188 million Maple to Williamsfield leg of Highway 2000. The workers were reportedly conducting a post-blast survey in the area. In May, traffic changes were made to the Melrose Hill bypass, which has been incorporated into the highway project to accommodate only westbound traffic. Eastbound traffic was diverted to the old Melrose Hill Road. And again, in discipline, as we already said, it's supposed to be a one-way, westbound traffic only. And the workers that work on Highway 2000 are fully aware of that. And in that, somebody decided to do the opposite, thus taking 3 lives. Remember, guys. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Please remember to leave your comment. What good? JBN, we keep you informed.